What's good? It's your boy Jay. That's me. Let's get into AEW Fright Night from October the 30th, 2024. An okay show for the most part. Bobby Lashley is officially all elite. I'm happy for that. We will talk about that when we get there. And outside of that and Private Party winning the AEW World Tag Team Championships, which we all knew that was going to happen too, the show was so-so, but we got a couple of good things on here. So, we kicked the show off with a video package, but it was interrupted by Orange Cassidy. So, Orange Cassidy says that that's enough of that, because he doesn't do this. He doesn't go out here and talk for 10 minutes about being a leader, because he isn't the leader. He came out here to see his friend. He had to come out here to see his friend Chuck Taylor's neck crushed. Orange Cassidy also remarks about being surrounded by the future of AEW, and they have no idea of the danger that they're in. They have no idea how dangerous Jon Moxley is, so Orange Cassidy knew then and there what he needed to do. If Mox has his way, there is no future of AEW. He doesn't need AEW. Orange Cassidy does. There's no Orange Cassidy without AEW. There's no us. He points to the fans. Orange Cassidy knows what he needs to do. Cut the head off the snake, and he'll do it alone to protect everybody. How will he do that? He looks into the camera and says that he's going to challenge Mox for the AEW World Championship. He takes the symbol of this company out of Moxley's bag and puts it into his backpack. It won't be hard for Mox to find Orange Cassidy as he'll be here every single week in this ring, because he's freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy, and he's the next AEW World Champion, and he doesn't need a catchphrase. Okay, this was fine. I liked the first part of his promo. Really cool, really serious, but it all went to shit when he, started to act comedic about everything. He should have cut a real serious promo all throughout. And I don't know why, but we all know that Orange Cassidy and Darby, they're not going to be the ones to dethrone Moxley. That's what it seems like to me. I think the only one who's going to be able to dethrone Moxley is going to be Darby Allin. And when that happens, I don't see Darby, in all honesty, and I like Darby, guys, I really do, but I don't see Darby being a champion no more than about a month to 3 months at best. Nothing beyond that. He screams total transitional champion. Not even, being an asshole. I'm just being real. But this was okay. Moving on. So we go backstage. Renee Paquette, she's talking to Mercedes Moné about Camille, her match against Chris Statlander. So the double champ runs down Chris Statlander, assuring that the Brick House will pick up the win. And that was it. So this leads us into the first match of the night. Adam Cole versus Buddy Matthews. Adam Cole defeats Buddy Matthews. Buddy Matthews does a significant amount of damage to the ankle of Adam Cole. So they did the Lexus King spot with Adam Cole's ankle. And he could barely use his ankle and stuff. So he was about to get checked on by the doctors and the officials. Buddy Matthews gets on the mic. He calls Adam Cole a bitch. Adam Cole comes in. He beats Buddy Matthews via not one, but two panorama sunrises. The first one on the outside, the second one in the ring, and then he did a boom shot to the back of the back of Buddy Matthews' head. I almost said Mike Bailey. Forgive me. I almost said Mike Bailey, but I meant to say Buddy Matthews. So he wins via the boom. So Kyle O'Reilly, he's watching from backstage. So Adam Cole gets on the mic. He thanks Buddy for reminding him who the real Adam Cole is, and then they shake each other's hands. The lights go out. Malachi Black's shaking hands with Adam Cole. The crowd says, holy shit. Same as me. And it seems like it's going to be Adam Cole versus Malachi Black next week. That's going to kick ass. Although that's something that you could do at Full Gear, if we're being honest. But seeing Malachi Black do the job here is not good. And I'm a fan of Malachi Black. Also, MJF was lurking in the shadows, watching this, I would assume, at his home. So that's fine. So we'll have to wait and see how everything plays out. I don't know how Roddy's winning his matches. I would assume he's winning his matches on Collision or Rampage. One of the two. I don't give a fuck. But we all know it's going to be MJF and Adam Cole at Full Gear. Where do you go once this is over with at Full Gear? I have no idea. Moving on. So Christopher Daniels, he's backstage. He's talking to Private Party about their tag match. He acknowledges that he and his former tag partner, Frankie Kazarian, who's in TNA, were in a similar situation 3 years ago, and they're nervous about what the Bucks would do to split another tag team up. Private Party promises that history won't repeat itself, and we're going to have new tag team champions, which is true. That happened. Moving on. So, backstage, Adam Cole, he's being checked on by the doctors. So he addresses MJF and what led to his betrayal last year. Adam Cole talks about how much he cares about AEW. Please stop with that bullshit. I don't care how you guys feel about AEW. Stop with this shit. Fuck it. And what it means for him, stating that Max has never been a part of that team. Adam Cole promises he'll get his hands on him at Full Gear, and maybe the Undisputed Kingdom as a whole will. 1 down, 2 to go. Okay, this is fine. Again, this makes sense. But for some odd reason, I got a feeling that Adam Cole will get turned on again. So we'll have to wait and see. Moving on. So Kyle Fletcher is out next. So Kyle Fletcher, he calls out Will Ospreay. Will Ospreay doesn't answer. Mark Davis comes out. Kyle says he wasn't expecting to see Mark Davis. It's nice to see him. So he's about to go in for a hug to Mark Davis, and he refuses. So Mark Davis speaks up, running Kyle down for calling someone out that he beat up. Kyle Fletcher says that while Mark was away, he opened his eyes to see who Will Ospreay really is. He's sure Will Ospreay forgot who Mark Davis is, but Kyle Fletcher never did. He knew this day would come, so he made sure that there was a spot for him in the family. So Mark scoffs at this notion, saying they had an empire before walking away. And then Kyle Fletcher tells him not to... Kyle Fletcher tells him he's not afraid to cut the past loose. And that was it. Okay, this is fine, I guess. Do I give a shit about this? No, I don't. Fuck Kyle Fletcher. And I don't care about Mark Davis either. Like, this is a waste of time. I don't care about any of this. Moving on. So, Renee Paquette, she's backstage. She interviewed Hangman Page. So Hangman talks about Jay White being knocked out of the Owen Hart tournament this summer, and Hangman Page being responsible for putting him out of action for 3 months. He says despite that record between them, because they are 4-1, so that's kind of weird, but it is what it is. Jay White's beaten Page 4 times. Page only beaten Jay White once. So Jay White will look to take... Hangman Page will look to take down Jay White and stand over a man who is hurt and having less than what he had before when they faced off. This is fine, I guess. But what do you do with Hangman going forward? This is the problem. This is what I don't get about AEW. This is what actually irks me about AEW. AEW does not know what they're doing. They just don't know what they're doing. And I have no idea why. It's not good. Like, Hangman beat Swerve at one of the biggest pay-per-views of the year for them. And since then, he's fallen off of a fucking cliff. And I have no idea why the fuck Tony refuses to push Hangman. I just don't get it. And I like Hangman to an extent, but damn, like, push the man, please. This is not good. Moving on. The Blackpool Combat Club, they come out. So, Moxley gets on the mic. He says that he knows Orange Cassidy and the rest can't appreciate what they're trying to do, but one day they'll understand. Mox says people think Orange Cassidy challenged him for the AEW Championship, but he challenged Orange Cassidy when he destroyed Chuck Taylor. He cut off the distractions so Orange Cassidy could focus on his goals. They entered a room and told everyone to show them the leader. Everyone in that room pointed to Orange Cassidy. Orange Cassidy says he's not a leader, but that's not the Orange Cassidy he knows. He will keep pushing him as necessary, and if he wants to face Jon Moxley, he can. But he will not fight on the mountaintop, but in the valley. Orange Cassidy thinks he's pulling the strings, but we'll put that to the test. So, the Blackpool Combat Club, they proceed to beat the shit out of Wheeler Yuta. They put a chair on his neck. So, Orange Cassidy comes out to make the save. Wheeler Yuta, he beats up Orange Cassidy, and then all of a sudden, this is when the shit goes off the rails. So, Dork Order, they came out, along with Private Party, Daniel Garcia, Top Flight. They all had like a massive brawl. It was weird. This was not good right here. This is the problem that I have with this angle. This angle doesn't make sense because why are you having these low-tier job guys show up? We need guys like Adam Cole in there. We need guys like Will Ospreay, MJF. You need top-tier guys who are going to fight and make this angle seem believable. Why are you getting jobbers and bringing in jobbers? I don't get it. It's like this has been on repeat for like the past 6 weeks. I don't know, man. I really don't know. So this led for the Young Bucks to come out, and everyone began to scatter after that. So this leads us into the Young Bucks versus Private Party for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. If they lose, that being Private Party, they have to break up. And thankfully, they don't lose. So basically, there was a point in the match where both members had to fight from behind. So there was one spot in the match where Isaiah Quinn was hit by... Isaiah Cassidy was hit by Mark Quinn via the ring bell. He was busted open. He bladed, which looked okay, I guess. So he was out for a while there. He got beat up for a good bit by the Bucks. And then Isaiah, he got beat up by Okada, who came out. He did a tombstone, taking him out for a while, so Mark Quinn had to fight back. And then, thankfully, Private Party, they got the win via Gin and Juice for the 1, 2, 3. And so, you know, it's a bunch of flips, kicks, and dives for the Young Bucks. So, the Young Bucks are no longer tag team champions. Post-match, they take the belts away from Private Party, which is weird because they're the heels, that being the Bucks. And then they give them back to Private Party, and that was it. But this is okay, I guess. What's Private Party going to do going forward? I have no idea. Your guess is as good as mine. Maybe Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin will go after the tag titles. We'll have to wait and see, though. But this was long overdue. This should have happened really like 3 years ago, honestly. But it's better late than never, I guess. But do we really care at the end of the day? No, not really. And I'm a fan of a Private Party, but this really should happen like 3 years ago. Moving on. So, we get a graphic promoting that the AEW World title, it's been set for full gear. So there's a face-to-face between Penelope Ford and Jamie Hayter. So Penelope Ford runs down Jamie Hayter, who promises to mop the floor with her when they face off next week on Dynamite. Oh, God. Oof. Moving on. So this leads us into Mark Briscoe. No, my bad. The Learning Tree. So they talk about All Hallows Eve. So Jericho hypes himself up, winning the ROH title. He couldn't have done this without everyone, including the fans here in Cincinnati. He meant to say Cleveland, and he does say Cleveland. He said he talks up the film he starred in, being number one in America. It's just he's going to take ROH to the biggest stage and the most success it's ever seen because he's Chris Jericho, and he can. And he tells the fans to sit back and enjoy the ride. And that was it. Who gives a shit about this? I don't. Moving on. Daniel Garcia, he's backstage. He confronts Jack Perry's little small ass. So a small ass guy 1 and small ass guy 2. I don't care about any of this shit. So for whatever reason, Jack Perry, he gets out of Dodge. He enters the locker room with the Elite. And the Young Bucks and Okada, they're shredding documents. Like, what the hell? What kind of shit is this? This is weird. This is bizarre. I don't know. Moving on. Chris Statlander defeats Camille in an okay match, basically. Standard. Post-match, Mercedes told Camille to go back in the back. She was pissed off. She hit Statlander in the back with one of the titles. And she said, if you want to do something right, you have to do it yourself. So, this seems like another MJF Wardlow storyline that they're doing, basically. I'm tired of it. I don't care about this shit. Mercedes has been a total fucking failure in AEW. Moving on. So, Christian Cage is backstage along with Kip Sabian. So, he said that he's going to explain his actions next week. And, he's going to let Hook know why he did what he did. So this should be interesting. Moving right along, Mark Briscoe is backstage. He says the word of the day is instability. Since Jericho does not care about his health, especially for bringing up his brother's name, once again, Mark Briscoe challenges the Learning Tree to a trios match involving Kyle O'Reilly, Tomohiro Ishii. Yeah, I'm not watching this at all. Nope, not gonna happen. Moving right along, the Young Bucks, they're in the AEW parking lot. They decided to get the heck out of Dodge, so to speak. So Alex Marvez and Christopher Daniels, they want answers, and then they drive off. So Brandon Cutler, he gets left behind, and then he's attacked by the BCC. By the Blackpool Combat Club. So they break Brandon Cutler's hand with a hammer, which was awesome. And then Moxley says, where are his boys at? So it seems like we're trying to turn the Elite babyface, and I don't like this shit. I'm so over this storyline. Moving on, main event of the evening. Swerve Strickland defeats Shelton Benjamin. This is a very good TV match. Swerve gets the win via the Swerve Stomp. Post-match, the lights go out, and Bobby Lashley appears. So MVP gets on his cell phone, and he's talking to Bobby Lashley. So Bobby Lashley shows up. Swerve stares down Lashley to an extent. Swerve attacks Shelton Benjamin, and then Lashley beats the shit out of Swerve. He puts him in the Hurt Lock, And then MVP and Shelton, they beat down Prince Nana and Swerve. And MVP gets on the mic. He says, guess who's back in business? And that was it. So the Hurt Business is now in AEW. This is great. I just hope that Tony Khan does right by Bobby Lashley. Do I think he will? No, he won't. Bobby Lashley will eventually be in the Wardlow position. He'll be like every other big guy before him. Pause. He'll be in the Wardlow position. Bobby Lashley was not brought in to be a top guy. Bobby Lashley was just brought in just to feud with Swerve. I am terrified what's going to happen to him within the next 6 months to a year. I wouldn't be shocked if he's just doing stuff on Rampage and Collision. I hope and pray to the Creator above that Bobby Lashley will have signed, would have signed just a year contract. So that way he can go back to TNA. Him, Shelton Benjamin, and MVP back in TNA. I think that would be great. I think that's the best place for them to be at. All the guys are older. Like, these guys are in their late 40s, so they're probably like all between 46 and 48 years old. All of them. So, I don't know. It's good that he's there. I'm happy for Bobby. I've always liked Bobby Lashley. I wish they would treat him like the black version of Brock Lesnar, but they're not going to in AEW. And they didn't do that with him in WWE. I feel like he got the short end of the stick in WWE, especially within the last 2 years. He was booked really well under Vince. And then when Triple H took over, he didn't really do jack shit with Bobby Lashley. But I don't have any faith in Tony Khan. I really don't. I just don't. I just hope that Bobby Lashley, MVP, and Shelton Benjamin just have all decided collectively, hey, let's just stick around in AEW for a year, and then let's go back to like TNA or something like that. So overall, Dynamite was so-so. Bobby Lashley showing up, that's great. We all saw that coming from a mile away, so that's good there. Adam Cole and Buddy Matthews was okay. And the Blackpool Combat Club takeover shit is getting annoying, and I'm just getting really tired of it. I really am, because none of this stuff matters. I forgot to mention that Darby Allin, he came back, and he got into that massive brawl as well. So I forgot to mention that. That happened when the BCC got into a brawl. So he's back. Again, I don't see Darby being the guy to dethrone Moxley. I mean, he could be, but he'll just have a short reign as champion. So there's that. But what did you guys think of AEW Fright Night? Let me know. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace.